Every year, the demon demands that humans offer a young girl as a sacrifice. If they don't, the demon will kill all of humanity. When the night of sacrifice arrives, the demon transforms into a human form and devours the sacrifice. Sally, the 99th girl sent as the sacrifice, is presented to the demon. The messenger, upon seeing her, thinks she's not of good quality and suggests that the king kill Sally and send her back to humanity for them to send a better sacrifice. Sally, hearing this, is very angry. Though she may seem small, she still has some meat on her. She volunteers to let the king eat her instead. The messenger, furious, scolds Sally, calling her a low-quality sacrifice and that she dares to command the king. But the king, shouting loudly, orders the messenger to leave. This is the first time the king has seen such an eager sacrifice. He decides to let Sally die peacefully. Jack grabs Sally by the neck, telling her to bow before him and beg for a quick death. However, Sally begins poking the king's palm, finding it soft and comfortable. The king is confused and wonders if Sally is really crazy. But Sally knows that even if she survives and goes back, no one will treat her kindly. She might as well fulfill her mission. The king, intrigued by this unusual sacrifice, decides to let Sally stay with him until the night of sacrifice arrives, but he restricts her freedom. Sally thinks the king is just worried about her. He warns her not to speak out of turn, or he'll eat her before the night of sacrifice. But Sally isn't afraid. When she was young, she saw her name in a book, and it meant she was a sacrifice. Sally wanted to ask her parents about it, but she overheard their conversation. Her adoptive parents had taken her in to replace their real daughter as the sacrifice. Sally feels betrayed by her adoptive parents, but in the king's eyes, there's warmth and love. That's why she isn't afraid. The king, feeling sympathy for Sally, decides to let her experience the beauty of life before she dies. One day, the king goes to inspect the border. As he turns around, Sally disappears. She comes across a field of flowers and wants to transplant them to the palace. The king tells Sally that only this place has the least toxic air, which allows the flowers to bloom. Even if he takes them back, they will wither quickly, but he agrees to her request. The king doesn't understand why humans love such fleeting things. When he looks up, Sally has placed a flower crown on his head and praises him for looking cute. The king angrily throws the flower crown away, thinking Sally is mocking him. As time passes, the king's attitude towards Sally changes. He even allows her to sleep on his tail. Soon, the night of sacrifice arrives, and the maid gives Sally a new dress. Sally is happy, feeling like a bride. The messenger takes her through a long set of stairs and locks her in a room inscribed with magical runes. Suddenly, Sally sees a pair of eyes. A lizard man knocks her down, intending to complete the ritual and take the king's place. He believes the king is too soft and has blurred the lines between humans and demons, and such a person isn't fit to be king. The lizard man picks up a knife and attacks Sally, but a hand suddenly blocks the blade. The man takes the short sword away from the lizard man, who quickly runs off. Sally follows him, guessing that this person might be the king. The man points toward a large door and tells Sally to escape through it. It turns out the king is half human, half demon. Every year on the night of sacrifice, he transforms into a human and hides in the darkness for the night. He never expected that Sally, despite his disguise, would see through it. Sally rips off her clothes and uses them to bandage the king's wound. She had already heard from the messenger that on the night of sacrifice, the king would be alone with the sacrifice. However, no one has ever seen the king eat a person. To make the sacrifice believable, the king would cut his own arm and leave blood behind. Sally believes that this is the true greatness of the king, and she doesn't plan to leave. The king unlocks her handcuffs with a single glance, and they embrace each other. The next day, the king announces that he will marry Sally. Despite the objections of others, who believe that a noble demon king cannot marry a lowly human, the king tells them to speak up if they have any objections. No one dares to speak.